Did you know one single fruit could send a senior to the emergency room? That a healthy-looking snack might quietly raise your blood pressure, mess with your medication, or even weaken your bones? It happened to my neighbor Carl. He's 72, eats clean, walks every morning, but last spring he ended up in the ER. The reason? A bowl of fruit he thought was good for him. You see, not all fruits are safe after 65. Some, like dried fruits or even banana skin, cause real harm if we're not careful. But here's the good news. Nature also gives us powerful fruits that heal, fruits that protect our brain, our heart, even our joints. Today, I'll walk you through 8 fruits every senior must know, 4 you should avoid, and 4 that could add years to your life. Let's start with the ones hiding in plain sight, the ones I wish someone had warned Carl about. 1. Grapefruit, the silent danger in your morning routine. When I was younger, grapefruit was a breakfast favorite. A fresh half, sprinkled with a bit of sugar, felt like the right way to start the day. Clean, light, healthy. But as I got older and after a close call with my own medications, I learned something I wish I had known sooner. For seniors over 65, grapefruit isn't just a tangy fruit. It can be a quiet threat hiding in plain sight. You see, grapefruit contains a compound that interferes with how our liver processes many common medications. I didn't know that at first. I was taking medicine for blood pressure and cholesterol, just like many folks my age. What I didn't realize was that grapefruit can block an important enzyme in the liver. That blockage causes the medicine to build up in the bloodstream. Instead of helping, it starts to overwhelm the body. One morning, I felt lightheaded. My heartbeat wasn't right. Turns out, the grapefruit I'd been eating with my pills was raising the medication levels too high. It could have been worse. For some people, it leads to muscle breakdown, irregular heart rhythms, or even severe bleeding if they're on blood thinners. The truth is, over 70% of seniors in the US take daily prescriptions, and many of those drugs, especially for the heart, anxiety, or blood pressure, react badly with grapefruit. But we don't hear about this often. No big warnings on the fruit itself, no caution labels in the produce aisle. That's why it matters. This video isn't about fear, it's about awareness. Grapefruit may still be fine for younger folks, but for seniors, especially those on medication, it's just not worth the risk. There are plenty of other fruits that support our health without interfering with our prescriptions, and we'll talk about them soon. But first, let's take a look at another sweet fruit that might be causing more harm than good, even if it brings back memories of summer days. 2. Cherries. Sweet memories, sour effects. I remember when cherries meant summer. A big bowl on the picnic table, a warm breeze, maybe a slice of cherry pie cooling on the windowsill. Those were good days. And cherries, with their deep red color and sweet taste, always felt harmless, even joyful. But things change as we age. Our bodies don't process sugar the same way, and what once felt like a treat can now turn into a hidden source of trouble. Cherries are naturally high in sugar. 1 cup can contain nearly 20 grams. That's a lot, especially for seniors living with diabetes or struggling to keep blood sugar levels steady. I learned this the hard way. After enjoying a generous portion one afternoon, I spent the rest of the evening feeling drained and foggy. I thought it was just fatigue, but it was my blood sugar spiking and then crashing. And it's not just the sugar. Cherries are acidic. For those of us dealing with joint pain, arthritis, or inflammation, that acidity can quietly make things worse. A bowl of cherries might taste refreshing, but by the next morning, my knees would be stiff, and the ache in my hands would linger longer than usual. It's heartbreaking in a way. Something that brings back such fond memories becomes something you have to be careful with. That's the part of aging no one tells you about. You begin to question not just how food tastes, but how it treats your body after. Now, I'm not saying never eat cherries again, but if you're over 65, and especially if you're managing diabetes or arthritis, this fruit may do more harm than good. Processed forms like cherry juice or dried cherries are even more concentrated and risky. There are better choices out there. Fruits that nourish without the spike, that soothe instead of inflame, and we'll get to those soon. But next, let's talk about a fruit we've all been told is healthy since childhood. It's soft, convenient, and full of potassium. But for older adults, it might be doing the opposite of what we think. 3. Bananas. When too much of a good thing becomes harmful. Most of us grew up thinking bananas were the perfect fruit. Easy to peel, gentle on the stomach, full of energy. I used to keep a bunch on the kitchen counter at all times. A quick snack before a walk, or sliced over oatmeal in the morning. It felt like a healthy habit. But as I moved into my 70s, I began to notice something odd. My legs felt weaker. I'd get lightheaded after breakfast. My doctor asked what I was eating, and I mentioned bananas. That's when she explained what was really happening. Bananas are rich in potassium, which is important, but only in the right amount. When we're young, our kidneys flush out the excess without a problem. But after 65, the kidneys can slow down. For those of us with heart issues or mild kidney problems, the potassium in bananas can build up. This can lead to a condition called hyperkalemia. I didn't even know that word before, but now I do. It can cause muscle weakness, fatigue, and even irregular heartbeats. In serious cases, it can put you in the hospital. And the strange thing is, you don't have to eat a pile of bananas. Just one a day, over several days, can be enough if your body isn't filtering potassium well. Bananas also interact with certain blood pressure medications, like ACE inhibitors or potassium-sparing diuretics. So even if you're eating the same way you always have, your body might not be reacting the same way anymore. That's the part no one warns you about. We trust familiar foods because they've always been part of our routine. But after 65, everything shifts. What once helped us may now hurt us, quietly. I'm not saying throw bananas out completely, but if you're dealing with heart conditions, high blood pressure, or kidney concerns, it may be time to limit them or talk to your doctor about safer options. Up next, let's look at a fruit many of us keep in the pantry for convenience. It's bite-sized, travels well, and looks innocent, but it may be one of the worst sugar traps for seniors today. 4. Dried fruits. The sweet snack that may be fooling you. When I was younger, I used to carry a small bag of raisins in my pocket. A handful here and there felt like a smart choice. Even now, you'll find dried apricots or dates at the doctor's office, next to the magazines. We're told they're healthy, natural, better than cookies or candy. But after 65, that small handful can carry big risks. Dried fruits may look innocent, but they're sugar bombs in disguise. When fruit is dried, all the water is removed, but the sugars stay packed tightly into every bite. That makes them sweeter, smaller, and much easier to overeat. A few dried figs, and you've just eaten the sugar of a whole bowl of fresh ones. And it's not just the natural sugars. Most dried fruits on store shelves are coated with added sugar to make them taste even better. Some are also treated with preservatives like sulfites, which can upset digestion, especially if you have sensitivities or conditions like asthma or irritable bowels. I didn't realize this until my blood sugar started creeping up. I wasn't eating cake, I wasn't drinking soda, but I was snacking on dried cranberries, thinking I was doing something good for myself. Then came the bloating, the sluggish afternoons, the sleepless nights with stomach discomfort. I finally learned what was behind it. Dried fruits are tricky because they wear a healthy mask. They come in small packages. They're labeled natural. But for seniors, especially those managing diabetes, blood pressure, or digestive issues, they can silently cause harm. We have to be more mindful now. Not every healthy snack is healthy for us anymore. Our bodies are more sensitive. The balance is more fragile. That doesn't mean we have to give up fruit. It just means choosing the right ones, the ones that nourish, support, and heal. Next, we'll shift from warning signs to healing gifts, because while some fruits should be avoided, others can truly make a difference in how we feel every single day. Let's explore the first fruit that could protect your memory and sharpen your mind. Now, let's talk about the fruits that heal. We've talked about the fruits to be careful with, those that may seem harmless but could quietly work against our aging bodies. But here's the hopeful part of the story. Nature doesn't just offer warnings, it offers wisdom. For every fruit that may harm, there's another that can help nourishing the mind. protecting the heart, easing the joints, and supporting digestion. And the best part? These healing fruits aren't hard to find. They're simple, familiar, gentle. They won't work miracles, but they offer steady, lasting strength. They won't work miracles, but they offer steady, lasting strength. Let's start with one of the smallest, yet most powerful ones I've ever added to my morning routine. 1. Blueberries, a tiny fruit that protects your mind. There was a time I couldn't remember where I left my glasses, or what day it was. It scared me more than I let on. When you're over 65, little slips like that can feel like big warnings. That's when I started looking at my plate, not just my calendar. Blueberries were the first thing I added back into my daily routine. They're small, quiet, and not flashy like some fruits. But inside each one is something powerful, especially for seniors. Blueberries are rich in anthocyanins, a pigment that does more than give them their deep blue color. These compounds cross into the brain and help fight inflammation, protect memory, and slow down the kind of damage that leads to Alzheimer's or Alzheimer's. I started with just half a cup a day, a few in my oatmeal, a handful in my yogurt. Over time, I noticed the difference, not just in memory, but in how clear my thoughts felt in the morning. I wasn't as foggy. I didn't lose my train of thought as often. And that fear I had, the one that used to sit quietly in the back of my mind, started to fade a little. But the benefits go beyond memory. Blueberries are also gentle on blood sugar. They're naturally low in sugar, which makes them safe for folks managing diabetes. They help with blood pressure too. That means one simple fruit is doing a lot, supporting both the heart and the brain. For seniors, that's no small thing. There's peace in knowing you're giving your body something good, something that doesn't come in a pill bottle. Blueberries are easy to find, easy to eat, and easy on your body. And they don't just feed your belly, they feed your mind. Next, let's talk about another fruit that's been with us since childhood. It's crisp, familiar, and stronger than it looks. One a day might do more than keep the doctor away. It might help your heart keep going strong. 2. Apples, the heart-healthy fiber hero. There's something comforting about an apple. Maybe it's the sound of that first crisp bite, or the way it fits so neatly in the hand. For me, it brings back memories of fall days, lunchboxes, and simple living. But as I've grown older, I've come to appreciate the apple for something more. Eat quietly takes care of my heart. Apples are packed with a special kind of fiber called pectin. It works inside the body like a gentle broom. It helps sweep out bad cholesterol before it can enter the bloodstream. For someone over 65, like me, that means real protection against heart attacks, strokes, and all the trouble that high cholesterol can bring. And it's not just the heart. Apples help keep digestion moving. At my age, that's a blessing. Constipation becomes more common, and many of us don't talk about it. But apples offer a natural solution without pills or powders. They're also low in sugar, which is important for anyone managing diabetes. I like that I can enjoy an apple without worrying about a blood sugar spike. It fills me up, keeps me steady, and helps with weight control too. That's something we all think about more as we get older. The skin of the apple carries antioxidants, which help reduce inflammation. That means fewer aches, less swelling, and more ease in everyday movements. One apple a day may sound like an old saying, but now I believe it more than ever. It's simple, affordable, and familiar. No special recipes, no trips to health stores, just something honest that supports your body, one bite at a time. Next, let's talk about a fruit that doesn't look or taste like the others. It's creamy, rich, and full of healthy fat. But for seniors, it can offer strength in your heart, your bones, and even your mind. 3. Avocados, the healthy fat that nourishes your body. I used to think avocados were just for younger folks, trendy toast toppings, fancy salads, not something I needed at my age. But a few years ago, after talking with my doctor and reading more about senior nutrition, I gave them a try. And I'm glad I did. Avocados are different from most fruits. They're not sweet, they don't come in bright colors, but they offer something we often lack as we grow older: healthy fats. The kind that support your heart, not hurt it. These monounsaturated fats help lower bad cholesterol and reduce inflammation. I started adding slices to my lunch, and over time, my numbers improved. I felt steadier, less foggy in the afternoon. Even my joints felt a little more flexible on cold mornings. But the benefits go deeper. Avocados are full of vitamin K, which helps strengthen bones and prevent fractures. That matters more than ever now. One fall can change everything. Keeping bones strong isn't just about milk or calcium. It's about foods like avocado that quietly support us from the inside out. They also contain lutein, an antioxidant that helps protect our vision. As we age, our eyes become more sensitive. Reading small print gets harder. Night driving feels riskier. Lutein helps guard against those changes. It's a little bit of protection for something we rely on every day. The best part? Avocados are easy to enjoy. A few slices on toast, mashed into a spread, even straight from the spoon with a pinch of salt. It feels creamy and rich, but also light, clean, and nourishing. We don't need to chase the latest superfood or fad. Sometimes, the right fruit has been there all along, waiting for us to understand it better. Let's keep going. The next fruit may not look as fancy, but it holds a quiet power of its own, especially for digestion and inflammation. If you've ever struggled with bloating or stiff joints, you'll want to hear about this one. 4. Papayas, the digestive and anti-inflammatory miracle. I first tried papaya during a trip to Florida in my 60s. A friend sliced one open for breakfast and said, "This fruit's kept my stomach happy for years." At the time, I didn't think much of it. But now, well into my 70s, I understand what she meant. As we get older, digestion isn't as smooth as it used to be. Meals that once sat fine can now leave us bloated, gassy, or just uncomfortable. That's where papaya has made a real difference in my life. Papaya contains a natural enzyme called papain. It helps the body break down proteins, which can be harder for us to digest as we age. When I started eating a few slices in the morning, I noticed less bloating. My stomach felt lighter, and those long, uncomfortable evenings after dinner became fewer and far between. But that's not all. Papaya also helps with joint pain. I've struggled with inflammation in my knees and fingers for years. Nothing severe, but enough to slow me down. Papaya's anti-inflammatory properties, along with vitamins A, C, and E, gently ease that swelling over time. I didn't expect it to help so much, but it has. There's also something comforting about papaya. Its soft texture, its mild sweetness. It doesn't overwhelm your taste buds or your system. It just feels kind. And at this stage of life, kindness, especially in the food we eat, goes a long way. Vitamin A supports the immune system and eye health. Vitamin C helps protect against colds. Vitamin E supports skin and cell repair. Together, these nutrients make papaya more than just a fruit. It's a gentle healer. These days, I keep a ripe one on the counter. I slice it fresh, just a little at a time. No need for fancy recipes or cooking, just something simple that gives back. And that's really the heart of this whole journey, finding fruits that support us, quietly and steadily. The kind that respect the changes in our bodies and help us age with grace. Because health at this age isn't about perfection. It's about choosing wisely, one mindful bite at a time. The end. Well, there you have it. 4 fruits that may quietly harm your health and 4 that can help you stay strong, clear-minded, and balanced as the years go by. I've lived long enough to know that good health isn't about doing everything perfectly. It's about making a few wise choices again and again. A handful of blueberries instead of dried fruit. An apple a day instead of another banana. A slice of avocado or papaya instead of something that upsets your body. These little changes can bring real comfort, clarity, and strength. So take a look at your kitchen, open the fridge, ask yourself not what's good, but what's good for you right now. And if this video gave you something to think about, I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below, tell me one fruit you'll be adding or one you might think twice about. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so we can keep learning, growing, and living well together. Here's to your health, one thoughtful bite at a time.